Hi guys, Matt V's Movies back for another video, and today we're going to be taking a closer look at the film Highlander. I recently received this for Christmas and had an opportunity to watch the film in 4K, and I thought we'd do a closer look today at this collector's set and sort of talk a bit about the film and my thoughts on this set. So we'll get into that today, right after the intro. Highlander came out in 1986 and it's a fantasy stroke action genre. It ran for 1 hour and 56 minutes. In the UK it was certificate 15. Scottish swordsman Conor MacLeod, born in 1518, is an immortal. He must fight the remaining opponent immortals in present time to win the fabled prize against the evil Kurgan. The release date in the UK was the 29th of August 1986, and this was directed by Russell Macaulay. Screenplay was by Gregory Whiddon, Larry Ferguson and Peter Bellwood. The budget was between 16 and 19 million US dollars, and the box office took 12.8 million US dollars. So it didn't do that great at the box office at the time. Cast included Christopher Lambert as Conor MacLeod, Sean Connery as Ramirez, Clancy Brown as the Kurgan, Roxanne Hart as Brenda J. White, Beatty Edney as Heather MacLeod, Sheila Gish as Rachel Elstein, James Cosmo as Angus MacLeod, and Celia Imrie as Kate MacLeod. Now onto some trivia about the film. All of Sean Connery's scenes had to be filmed in a week. Due to Connery's schedule, he had a bet with director Russell Macaulay that they would not finish in 7 days, but Macaulay won the bet. Connery earned $1 million for his week's work. Sean Connery and Christopher Lambert got along so well during filming that they called each other by their characters' names even when they were not filming, and it was at Lambert's insistence that Connery and his character returned for Highlander 2: The Quickening in 1991. Queen originally intended to record only one song for this movie, but after viewing footage from the movie they were inspired to write more. The band members each had a favourite scene and composed songs specifically for them. Brian May wrote Who Wants to Live Forever during the cab ride home after seeing the movie, and Roger Taylor used the line It's a Kind of Magic as the basis for the end title song. Christopher Lambert spent time with a dialogue coach developing an accent which sounded non-specifically foreign. And finally, Christopher Lambert had just barely learned to speak English when he took this role. The only other English-speaking movie he had been in at that point was Greystoke, The Legend of Tarzan, Lord of the Apes in 1984, in which he only spoke a few words. Okay, so on to the edition itself. Now, I was lucky enough to receive the special collector's edition that was released by Studio Canal. And they presented this wonderful sort of artwork on the front here, some scenes from the film, and obviously the main title character, Conor MacLeod. There's the spine, nice spot gloss on the Highlander there. These aren't removable. And then if we turn it to the back, here we go, we've got some special features on the UHD disc. Some of these are new, as you can see, and I've yet to check those out, but yeah, it'll be interesting to certainly delve into these special features. And we also get the Blu-ray disc as well. Just zoom into the tech specs. You can see it's 117 minutes long, 185 to 1 aspect ratio. It's a 5.1 DTS master audio mix on this one. Now it did upscale to Neural X on my amplifier, but yeah, we'll come on to the sound a little bit later on. So we'll open it up. Now this is a really nice sort of hard box, quite sturdy, so very nice. Nothing on the top, and just the credits on the bottom. Okay, so it's a digipack design inside, so we get a nice image here from the film. Side again, and on the back we have the Kurgan. So we open it up, so we get a wealth of goodies inside here, which we'll get to in a minute. And you've got Sean Connery's character there. It's the little, that's just what you get inside the set. There's another scene from the film. Open it up here. So here we've got the 4K disc and the Blu-ray disc. I'll just remove these and you can have a look at the underneath artwork. Okay, so disc removed. So here we've got some nice artwork of Connor McLeod, and we've also got the Kurgan underneath this side. So yeah, really nice presentation, nice digipack design from Studio Canal. Okay, so on to the extras that we get in this set. And the first thing we get is some pins with some quotes from the film. Now personally, I think these are, well, a bit pointless myself. You know, they're okay, but what I would have liked to have seen rather than this would have been a CD soundtrack. Because it's such a fantastic soundtrack by Queen, I think the addition of that would have been far better than sort of including these pins. I suppose it's a lot cheaper to produce these, but yeah, whilst they're fine, they just don't really add a lot to the set, in my opinion. Okay, but we do get some nice art cards with this. Now this I really do like. I do think this is really done well. Now they're all plain on the back, but yeah, it's a really nice sort of drawn image. A nice one there. Yep, this is sort of from the modern times. And here's the iconic poster. Now, I would have quite liked to have seen this sort of probably on the back of the set, rather than the sort of, you know, the text that we got. If it had done on a J card and had this on the back, I thought it would have just made it that little bit extra. I think this is a fantastic poster. But again, it's nice that they've given us this card with the image on, so can't complain really. Okay, so next we get a poster. So what I'll do is I'll probably put an image on the screen of this poster, sort of, you know, displayed. It's too big to do it here, but yeah, you get a nice poster. Okay, so the next thing we get is a comic. So it's Highlander, Way of the Sword. And I do like it when they sort of include little extra bonus things like this. You know, it's nice that they... and there's actually like 2 covers which make up one picture here. So that's quite nice. Obviously this was Dynamite Comics at the time. But yeah, it's kind of like a little teaser, I suppose, as to, you know, get people interested in looking at the comics as well. So yeah, I do like to sort of read these little comics. Nice little addition to the set. So there we go. That's a little comic that you get with this as well. And then finally we get this nice sort of collector's booklet, again with that sort of image that's on the front of the set. And on the back, that's quite nice as well, sort of, you know, the jewel at the end of the film. So yeah, we'll have a look in here, and again you've got all the cast and crew there. And whilst I'm flicking through this, I'm just going to sort of tell you a bit about the film, well, my thoughts on the picture and sound quality. Again, if you want to pause this and read, you're more than welcome to. So it's nice to see a booklet with some information and images in. Always a welcome sight. So yeah, as I say, I watched the film last night, and yeah, I mean, obviously this film was shot on film, so you do get quite a lot of grain in it. Picture quality varies throughout the film. I found at the start of the film it seemed to be quite heavy on grain, but as it sort of went through, I kind of got used to it. And some of the scenes in Scotland are fantastic, sort of the landscapes that you get. It really does look, you know, fantastic. I did find myself having to adjust the settings. I usually watch on HDR10 on a film mode, but I found the actual HDR was a little bit sort of oversaturated on that. So I actually wound up putting it onto just a standard sort of setting. And I do find sometimes you do have to adjust the settings on depending on the film and the film stock. You know, very much these films, you know, do vary. Each film, you know, I mean, it's all dependent on film stock. And there are certain scenes that you know, you think, well, it doesn't look much better than the DVD. But then other scenes really shine. And but overall, I you know, I enjoyed the picture quality. It's probably the best it's ever going to look. You know, it's wonderful to revisit this film. It's been many years since I've seen it. Yeah, probably the effects aren't probably up to today's standards, but you know, for the time it was done really well. You know, and to be complemented by the wonderful soundtrack from Queen. You know, it's a fantastic film. And this is really nice, you know, they're doing some sort of sketches and things in here. I really do like it when they sort of, you know, go to a lot of effort when they produce these editions and they give you this kind of, you know, sort of images and photographs. It's just wonderful. I mean, look at this, you know, all the sort of wonderful costumes, you know, and again, I mean, the costumes in this are fantastic, you know, sort of, you know, sort of Scotland back in the 1500s, 16th century. And yeah, it has got kind of an 80s feel to it, you know, obviously, you know, the modern day stuff set in the 80s. But again, it's that wonderful time within the there's wonderful Queen there. They wrote the songs for Highlander. Yeah, it's just a nostalgic trip, you know. I know there were sequels after this film and they didn't do very well. And indeed there was the Highlander TV series, which I thoroughly enjoyed. It was a shame that yeah, some of the sort of spin-off films didn't do that well, the more TV series, but yeah, it was really clever sort of continuation of the story. There's wonderful Freddie Mercury with Christopher Lambert there. So yeah, a really nice booklet this, with this wonderful set. So guys, that's sort of a closer look at this set. Yeah, it's a wonderful addition this. Also want to just touch on the audio as well. Yeah, I watched this through my amplifier, and you have two options. You have either a stereo track, 2-channel, or a 5.1 DTS master audio track. So I did put it on the 5.1, and my amplifier sort of upscales it to Neural X, which is like a simulated sort of immersive sort of, you know, soundtrack. I have to say that I wasn't that blown away with the soundtrack at all. It didn't, whilst I could hear surround, it didn't have the sort of impact. There didn't really seem to be any bass, which was a bit disappointing. It was wonderful when the music came on, obviously Queen's soundtrack, you know, the fantastic music. But yeah, I found the sort of, I don't know whether maybe my settings were off, but I just found the sound a little bit distant within my setup. I don't know whether I kept fiddling around with things, and but yeah, it was a bit odd that I just felt that it was lacking something, which was a shame because, as I say, the picture quality on the whole was very good. Yeah, some scenes probably looked not as good as they maybe, I would hope so, but you know, it all depends on film stock. So, but overall, you know, I would say a good transfer, probably the best it's ever going to be. I don't know whether it's worth upgrading to the 4K. I think the Blu-ray would perfectly be serviceable. I haven't watched the film on the Blu-ray disc, but you know, I think it all depends. It's all down to personal preference. I mean, I think the HDR does work, but again, you've got to get it on the right setting. But overall, you know, a decent transfer, but nothing amazing. But as far as the set goes, an absolutely fantastic set. Just been nice to have had that sort of Queen soundtrack in there, rather than those badges, but that's just a minor nitpick. So guys, that's just a closer look at the film Highlander. Hope you've enjoyed a closer look at that. And if you're new to the channel, thanks for clicking on the thumbnail, and hope you enjoyed the video. Please consider subscribing by hitting the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell so you'll be informed when I upload videos like this. Welcome back to existing subscribers. Hope you're all doing well and keeping safe. Please give the video a thumbs up. That really does help out the channel, and it tells YouTube that you like these sorts of videos. So yeah, it'd be great if you could do that. Please leave a comment. It's great to have comments on the channel. Have you seen this film? Do you own it? Which version do you have? 4K, Blu-ray, DVD, or even the VHS? Yeah, it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts on this film down below in the comments. You can also find me on Instagram. I'm over there and I post pictures from time to time. So yeah, if you don't follow me there, go and check out my Instagram feed. And yeah. Anyway, that's the end of the video, guys. Take care and see you in the next one. Bye now.